All right, all right, all right. How you all doing today? How is my no more people pleasing family? It is time to go live again. I'm hoping everything as usual is intact. Hey, I've got some more exciting things to talk to you all about, and we've got some things coming up because you all may be seeing a new face to add to the support here at No More People Pleasing, and we're excited about that. So stay tuned. But we want to get into an important topic today that I think that if you are a people pleaser, that it's very possible that you have experienced. All right. And the topic is how to go no contact with a narcissist. How to go no contact with a narcissist. All right. Have we ever gone no contact? Have we ever been in the presence of a narcissist or even maybe a manipulator, a person that's in my life that is constantly um, demanding of me and seeming to, have their own agenda more than what they care about my needs. Okay. So how to go no contact with a narcissist. And so this is the thing. What is no contact? For those of you all who are not familiar with the term, no contact is a term that's often used when we're talking about someone who may have people pleasing tendencies and they're interacting with a narcissist. Okay. And so what happens is that they understand that this thing is not healthy. Maybe I've been, experiencing some level of emotional abuse. Maybe they have been unkind to me. Maybe they have been cheating on me. Maybe they have just been doing things, whatever it is. I don't know. Some of you all can fill in the blanks. What has been going on in your life concerning the people that you are pleasing too much? Why are you doing it? Are some of the people that you're pleasing a lot doing things in a manner to where it's harmful to you? That's when a lot of times we go no contact. But I think no contact is especially recognized in situations when we're dealing with romantic relationships. But these concepts can apply to any situation where you might need to separate from the narcissist, separate from the manipulator, and that's what no contact is. So when we talk about separate, we mean really separate. And this is the thing, that this is not a separation that occurs just for a couple of days. We're talking about a minimum goal of 21 to 30 days. I mean, a minimum goal. That doesn't mean that after we've met the 21 days or the 30 days, excuse me, that we start to establish contact back with the person. This just means a short-term goal, because if a lot of times if we just, if we have certain habits and we just say that we're going to quit, it's easier a lot of times to set short-term goals than it is long-term goals. So the no contact rule in this situation, we're saying we're going to go a minimum of 21 days with absolutely no contact. And this means no texting, no phone calls. This means that we block them on social media. Yes, we block them. And then what I understand, a lot of times when you block people on social media, they can, well, if it's a narcissist, they're probably going to know. Okay, they're probably going to know, and they're probably going to want to talk to you about it, right? So blocking them on social media. If it's a loved ones, this means no more running errands. It doesn't matter if I was scheduled to take you to your job, and I'm concerned about that with this no contact, because this has been abusive to me. This has made me sick. Some of us are literally sick because of the abuses that we receive from narcissists. I was talking to a client, uh, and they mentioned to me that a loved one had asked for some money, and they said they had pretty much responded that they wouldn't be doing that. And so then the person texted them back and said, um, you know, when you get this, once you're able to get the money, you can just send it to such and such and such. So it's like they totally disregarded and gave them instructions, totally disregarded that they said that they wouldn't be doing that. And this is what happens a lot of times. We're dealing with people that get themselves in tough jams and expect us to get them out. Have you been in that situation before? If you have, put in the chat, yeah, I've been there. If you've been put in the chat, if you've had an experience or two to where you've been put in situations to get people out, bailing people out on a regular basis, where there's bills or picking them up and dropping them off places or taking them running errands or connecting them to resources and things like that, time and time again, um, then just put that in the chat. Because a lot of us, that is what has been happening. And this has been protocol and it has been exhausting us. So when we go no contact, that means no contact. And you can do it. Some of us have never experienced no contact. Or when we have experienced no contact, and we may talk about this, then we've transitioned to other contact that's not healthy as a replacement. We're not doing any of that. All right. And so we're talking about no sending messages through third parties because some of us are so harmed. And so we're not going to point the fingers at ourselves. Some of us are so harmed that we will find ways ourselves to contact these people, because some you have different types of narcissists. Some narcissists, once you say that I'm done, you're done with them or whatever, they're like, well, I'm not going to sweat you. I'm not coming after you. And so they expect that you'll reach out to them first. So a lot of times they'll never reach back out, but a lot of narcissists eventually will. Okay. They eventually will. And because we talked about this, the two things that really harm a narcissist's ego is that you don't show interest or you embarrass them. Okay, that's one way to really light them up or get their minds to just rambling. Okay, so we're not accepting gifts. Okay, so what if I already have? Ooh, we're running out of time. What if I already have gifts? And see, this is another one. This is another one, y'all, where some of y'all get caught up, right? So it's like, well, I have gifts or I have belongings that I need to get back to them. Well, let me ask you something. Did they ask for them? Did they ask for them? So you've gone 2 weeks. Why are you feeling the urgency that you just have to get them back their stuff? They will show back up in the picture to get their stuff soon enough. But by then, we want to have been able to develop some level of resistance, some level of separation. You feel what I'm saying? So it's no excuses. We don't want excuses. Okay. And we're going to talk about how we're able to execute and make this happen. Okay. So no accepting gifts, no opening cards that they send. Oh yeah, they will send you cards. They will send you something that, well, look, they're skilled at this. So they know what to say to you to get you feeling emotional, to get you to start the bargaining process. For those of you all not familiar with bargaining, starting that process to where you're starting to question yourself about the decisions that you've been making about them. Like when you're in the heat of the situation, when they have abused you or embarrassed you or showed up with somebody else and acted like you didn't exist, pretty much told you to go home, right? And have treated you this type of way, when you're in that moment, then you feel it and you're like, oh, I'm never going back. But you give it some time, and I'm talking about a few hours for some of us, then we start thinking other things. We start looking at ourselves. We start blaming ourselves. You see, we start that bargaining process. Okay. So this is all part of it. If you've experienced this, then you're in good company. Most of us probably here have experienced this to some degree. No opening cards that they send. No answering phone calls. Okay. We talked about that. No contact. No contact is not about finding someone else so that you can forget about this person, whether it's a child, whether it's a friend. You need time away. Okay. And we're going to get to why. It doesn't mean that because this is the thing. It doesn't mean that because you decide that you're going to do no contact, that you're a bad person. Like, who told you that? Process that. Who told you that you're a bad person? Who told you that you're being mean? Who told you that you did something wrong? Who told you that you're drawing being extra about the conclusions that you're drawing, that you're just doing too much? Who told you that? And see, this is abuse of yourself, because really you're talking yourself out of the feelings that you're experiencing that are telling you that I don't like this situation. This situation is not serving me. It's disrupting my body. It's making me unhappy. I stay in tears. How many of y'all experience that? You're tearful all the time. You could put a heart or a thumbs up. You're tearful all the time because of this person. and you seem and feel like you're addicted to the situation and that there's no way out. There's darkness. Okay. All right. And so no contact does not ruin any chances of the ex coming back. It doesn't like if you were supposed to be with them, things would have already worked out. Or they will work out once you get yourself together. Okay. But if it's a narcissist, you probably I don't want it to work out. Okay, so that's a problem. You feel what I'm saying? If you wanting things to work out with a narcissist, that in itself needs a pause. Okay, all right. So some of us are in situations where we're feeling like dang, time is moving. Um, I need to give them this stuff. We have accounts together. Well, sometimes I hate to say this, that when you're going through the no contact detox, okay. So when we're going through this process here, you may have to just keep paying the bills because right now we're focused on no contact. You can take a month to just continue doing what you were doing with the bills, most of us, because you've been doing it this long. And if you were in relationship with them, you would do it for them even if you didn't have the money, wouldn't you? Even if you didn't have the money, if you had to get the money from somewhere else, you would find a way to make that happen. So why on the no contact situation are we finding a reason why it's so necessary for me to talk to this person right now? This is part of that craving experience that you're having, and it's okay. It's okay that you have it, but this is part of the process. Okay, we got to continue. So we have kids together. All right, that's another one. Now that's a tough one, right? And usually, the manipulators, if it's a romantic situation, will use that against you. They know that you want to have them in your life and in your child's life, so they'll start all type of manipulation tactics as well. But see, this is the reason why you don't really need to do this by yourself. Okay. So, but the thing is that I'm contacting in that situation. If it's we're sharing, we have shared custody or something like that. I'm going to have some type of exchange, but it's good to sometimes have a third party with you during the exchanges. Some of you all opt not to even look into that. Bring a third party with you. Okay. Um, or make it just brief. We're not discussing anything. We're not discussing. We're out of there. Okay. If you're dropping the kid off, the kid can actually. You don't have to talk to the narcissist. The kid, you can prearrange. They get out. They go with them. Okay. Yeah. No contact. Okay. If we discussing time, that's it. You learn more about this in coaching, right? On how to how to actually make this happen. But why does anybody ever thought about this? Why does no contact work? Well, no contact works because I'm not reactivating the wounds that I'm experiencing. Sometimes, oh man, it's tough. Sometimes we're addicted to the wounds. Sometimes we're addicted to the abuse. Sometimes we're addicted to the cycle. And if it silences itself, that's trouble for us. Sometimes we're addicted to the helping, the nurturing, the supporting. If I have to help, nurture, support, help, nurture, support, and I'm anxious about it, what type of time am I trying to occupy? Is the question that sometimes we need to ask ourselves, right? So we're giving yourself time to evaluate why you have been stuck. It's almost like being real busy. Like lately, I've been so busy. I'm so proud to have my new planner, and I got the new planner. I don't even know where it is, and because I'm busy. But sometimes we don't have time to sit down and evaluate or plan or document what it is that we need to do next. If we're in a jam, if we're in a situation, if we're finding ourselves running back to the person, we don't have the time to mentally plan a mental planner in our minds about what's going to be our next moves because we're so preoccupied. A lot of times we don't even know that we're treating pain, we're treating trauma and things of that nature. So that's why we need the no contact, because this was an addiction to begin with. Okay. You are allowing yourself time to understand why you need them or why you don't need them. For the most part, if they're narcissists, why you don't need them. You're starting to journal right now the harm, the pain, and the reasons why this person does not identify with the person that should be on your vision board or the vision board that you've created. Sometimes we don't even have a vision board, and so we just go about just business as usual, and we have no what's the term that I'm looking for? Um, we have no standard. Okay, we have no standard for practices when it comes to giving, people pleasing, helping. We just do what other people ask, and we're afraid to say no. Okay. So this gives us time to think about some of what we've been doing, some of our activities, some of our actions. Okay. So that we don't have to continuously ruminate about bad decisions that we've been making, because sometimes that's a cycle. Like, why am I still with this person? Why do I accept this abuse? And they're constantly abusing, and then you're constantly feeling sorry for yourself about that. This gives you time away from that. I'm gonna tell you in a minute why it's important to have that time. And this is the thing. It gives you opportunity to start staging a plan B. When you're preoccupied in that situation, you don't have the opportunity to be sober. To be for real talk, a lot of times we're involved intimately if it's a romantic relationship. So you don't have the opportunity to have no sex, or you don't have the opportunity to not be touched. You don't have the opportunity in that situation to not be intoxicated by this people or by these people that you're helping, even if it's not a romantic situation. This is all dope. This is all okay. I'm doping myself up, right? Okay. So that's something that we've got to recognize. And so we need to be thinking about a plan B. And a plan B involves us not having this type of pattern of pleasing. Have you thought to please yourself? Have you sat down and start doing the mental planner on what you need to be doing for yourself and putting it in the planner to it's happening this day at this time and following through, and I'm crossing stuff out because now I'm spending time and I'm appreciating and showing ultimate concern, respect, and appreciation for myself. Okay. So this is the thing. It's important when you go through this process that you build your supports. What are you going to do once you leave? Talked a little bit about that. Build your supports. Your body is programmed to be addicted to this person, these people that you're supporting, that you're helping. Your body's programmed to be, this is not new. I've talked about this all the time. This is not new. You need time to get them out of your system. And if it's a child or a spouse, you can't just get them out of your system, but you can detox from the way that they've been in your system, the way that it's been what do they call it? Stimulus response type of thing. So you get the stimulus, here's the response. So I do for them, and then I get. Okay. I do this one thing, and then I get this gratification. I do this one thing, I get the gratification. Do this. So we're getting out of that pattern of a false way of gratifying ourselves, a false way of filling up that void. Okay. And so you will experience withdrawal. Okay. So I want to ask y'all a quick question. What's really crazy about this whole thing, right? This is what's crazy, right? Is that let me ask you this question, right? Why doesn't it work if you have somebody that's drug addicted on cocaine, crack, alcohol, things like that? And why doesn't it work for a treatment person themselves doing it themselves to just remove those drugs, the alcohol, whatever it is that they have? Why doesn't it work to just remove that from out their system outside of the the withdrawal that their body might experience? Outside of that, why doesn't it work to just remove it? It doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't work. And the reason why it doesn't work is because they're taking drugs for a reason. Okay, they're taking alcohol for a reason. I don't want to get on a soapbox about that, how we've criminalized these things when it's treatment. It's just a bad treatment. Okay. So they're doing it for a reason, because if they did not have it, then what would happen? all these thoughts racing, racing thoughts about what I'm not, racing thoughts about my unworthiness, racing thoughts about how I'm not liked, racing thoughts about how I'm not accomplished, racing thoughts about how I should be married, racing thoughts about how it's going to be too late to have a baby. I want to have a baby for myself. I want to have a baby for my parents to make them grandchildren. Racing thoughts about your inadequacies. This is you. This is you, and it's okay. We're just bringing it to the light. We're bringing it to the light. Okay. And so it's a treatment. So codependency, people pleasing is a treatment. And once you pull yourself away from it with this no contact, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a flood of thoughts. You're going to have a flood of ideas, many times that are negative, that something telling you that you're lonely, something telling you that you're inadequate, something telling you that nobody's going to ever want you, something telling you that, just all these negative things will come to your mind once you start cutting out the narcissist in your life. And this is the reason why you have to build your support system. So what does that look like really quickly? We're on 20 minutes. Identify trusted individuals that you can depend on, friends and family that you can reach out to during this time that will understand your situation and your emotional state, will not judge you. Support groups, find you a support group, either with, get active online here. We got to get everybody more engaged. Talk to somebody, right? So find trusted individuals. The next step is that, to take it a step further, which I would highly recommend, is seek professional help. You might want to find a therapist. You might want to find a coach. That's what we're here for, right? Someone who specializes in dealing with individuals who have experienced trauma, who have experienced adverse situations, who have experienced people pleasing, codependency. You want to have someone who is experienced with working with people who have experienced narcissistic abuse, who have been manipulated, or who have not been able to attach well and have very successful relationships with spouse, lovers, family, relatives, friends. Okay. So you want someone who can coach you along the way so that you don't have to do this on your own, because you don't, and you can win. And we're getting a lot of wins, right? You want to be able to, in this process, to establish clear boundaries, to go no contact. You need that support network. You need them to understand and respect your boundaries, and whether they understand it or not, I'm not explaining it. I'm just doing it, right? Enforce those boundaries. You need to be firm and maintain these boundaries no matter what. Maintain the contact no matter what. Inform mutual acquaintances like your friends, family, and loved ones about what you're doing. Inform them about the need for space if they're the ones you need to distance, and request that they don't share this information with anybody else. People who don't respect those boundaries are the ones that, this is telling you why it's necessary, because I'm getting rid of this addiction. I'm addicted to allowing for you to cross over boundaries with me. Create a safety plan, emergency contacts, have a list of contacts. When you feel threatened, intimidated, when you start bargaining, if you feel unsafe, identify these safe places in your environment. Find things that soothe you. Might be a good time now to join that spa, to get that massage, to start something new, like if it's a career or something that you wanted to pursue that you've been putting off. Engage in self-care, both physically and mentally, and educate yourself about the process. And that's it. We're going to stop here. We're at 20. I did 15 last week. I did good. But we're at 25 minutes. Okay. And so I'm going to make an appeal to you all to, if you know that you're in a situation now where you need coaching through this process, go on and put in the chat coach, and we will reach out to you, and we will get you connected with a coach that matches up with you, that you can relate with. We'll get someone that can support you through this process to make that change. All right. We'll see you all again next week, and y'all take care. No contact. All right. Bye-bye.